as a coach, you're always looking for things you can clean up. Always cleaning up the past so you can be free going forward. And I kept driving past my old college, and every time I saw the college sign, I would remember that when I was 18, I stole the college sign. In fact, not once, but twice, I stole the college sign. And at the time, it seemed like a lot of fun, but now it seems like vandalism. So it kept bugging me, and finally I realised what I had to do. I had to clean this up. So I got on the phone, I called the principal, who wouldn't even know who I was. And I said, look, I'm David Wood, and I want to tell you that I did something years ago that was inappropriate, and I took the college sign. In fact, I took it twice, and I'm sorry. I know it was inappropriate, and I want to make it right. What's it going to cost to reimburse you? And the guy's like, who is this? And can I ask you when this happened? And I said, it was about 1989. And he's like, why are you calling? And I got to explain to him that I'm a coach and this is the way I live my life. And whenever I see something that's inappropriate in the past, I try and clean it up. And the guy was so taken by that he told me how much it costs. And he actually said, your timing's good because we just lost another of the damn things. And he said, they're bloody expensive. So I sent him a check, and he sent me a personal invitation to the opening of the new wing. And we went to go and see this opening of the new wing, and you wouldn't believe it, the Prime Minister of Australia is there. And because this guy was so moved by what I'd done, he actually introduced me to the Prime Minister of Australia, John Howard, and I got to shake his hand and just tell him what I do and like that. So there's an example of what can happen out of simply picking up the phone to be honest and be authentic, and part of why I love this whole coaching way of life. I didn't have the average career transition. I was actually an actuary in New York and hanging out with some very boring people, really. And I was doing a personal development course, and I accidentally coached someone. That's how I fell into coaching. She took me home from the course and was sitting in the car, and she told me that her husband had had an affair 10 years earlier, and that for 10 years she had been holding that over him and using that as a way to control him in her marriage. And that wasn't even the big bit. The big bit was that she'd had an affair 10 years earlier too, but she didn't tell him that bit. Yeah. So I was just amazed she was sharing this, but in the space that was created in our conversation, she got to see the possibility of letting him off the hook and actually just being free and being honest with the husband. And I got to support her in doing that, and it was the most amazing experience for me. Being a coach is a real privilege. I could say to a husband, you're being stingy with your love. His wife could never say that to him and be heard, but I can say it to him and he'll take it on. I can say to a CEO, you're arrogant and you're freaking people out. And he or she may not listen to anybody else saying that, but they'll listen to me. So it's a real privilege to have the hat of coaching on. I'm pretty firm as a coach. I think there are two things that really help in my coaching. One is that I can be firm, so that if somebody's coming up with excuses, like, I can't do that, I'm too old. I'm 50, I can't retrain as a vet. There's a part of my brain that just doesn't get that. There's a part of my brain that does what everyone else's brain says, which is, yeah, I can see that. But there's another part that kind of goes off and goes, hang on, that's not right. There was someone who was 80, I don't have the name at my fingertips, but she was 80 and doing medicine. And someone said to her, you're going to be like 88 by the time you qualify. And she said, I'll be 88 anyway. So there's that part of it that I just won't accept. You can't do it. And the other thing that I think is really helpful in my coaching is that I don't take any of it too seriously. Because that's sometimes the biggest thing I can give to people, that they're so serious about the career isn't working or the partner's leaving them or whatever it is, and I can help them bring some lightness and some humour to it, shifts their whole energy. And sometimes that's all that's needed. the action steps are just fluff after that. It's just, if I can help them shift their energy, home and hosed, as we say. I never thought I was a spiritual coach until about 2 years ago. I was an actuary, right? Numbers, statistics. But the more I look at it, the more I see that we're here to really enjoy our time as much as we can. And the way to do that is go for all the good stuff, but also be honest with our emotions. Bring out the emotions and be real. And that's where the real courage comes in. When I was younger, I had a tragedy, I would call it. My sister was killed when I was 7 and she was 5. And I was there, so I got to witness it when it happened. And for years I didn't think that it had any impact. I really didn't. I just went about my life, and it wasn't until the age of 23 when someone called me a cardboard cutout that I realised that I'd really locked up. In fact, my whole family had locked up. So that was a blessing in a way, because at the age of 23, I got to work with somebody, not a coach, this was in therapy, and he helped me to bring out all that stuff that I'd locked away for my whole life, and to see how I'd withdrawn from people. And I actually believe that that's why I'm a coach. And you find a lot of people in the helping profession have had something really major happen to them. And I think because I was locked away, and now I get to feel what it's like to come out. That's probably why I want to help other people to really live. I've done a lot for fun. I went and got scuba certified because that looked interesting. I was blue belt in karate. That was a good time. Squash, competition squash is something I've been playing for years. Acting, actually did a couple of really bad short films, and that was good. I've done stand-up comedy now. Some of it bad, some of it good. The organ, I took up the organ, I played the drums, guitar, a whole bunch of stuff. So, and I'm a hang glider pilot. So, yeah, I like flying. It really freaks me out. Stand-up comedy is an amazing thing, because it's probably the scariest thing that I've done. But there are moments, I have had moments where I click on stage, and someone will laugh at something, or I'll say something I did not mean to say, and everybody laughs, and I relax. And I just go, right, I'm up here, and I usually say something about that, and it gets real. And then I feel connected with people, and from then I usually have a really good time, because I get to make up stuff.
And has travelling helped?
It's definitely helped when I coach in America and the UK and some other countries, because I think I understand some of the culture, understand the differences, so I know how people are thinking differently, and I know what's not going to fly, and I know when to use different words. So travelling's probably helped in that respect. I've helped quite a few people with career switches. There was one woman who was in HR and earning a good salary, and she just wasn't happy. And after a month of exploring what she wanted, she came up with a career that would combine photography and working with animals. That's what she wanted to do. And she couldn't see how to do it, but she was willing to at least explore. And then she came up with a plan, and now she's working for a vet. Ditched her job, went working for a vet, took a pay cut, but she's so much happier. And again, that's what I think we're here for. On the planet, we've got to follow our passion. I think what we're doing here on the planet is creating problems for ourselves. Yeah, that's what we do. There's a quote that I won't get right, but it's something about, why do we turn everything we touch into a problem? And we do that. It's like a conditioning, and we get drama out of that. So we turn things into a problem. And if I can help people to shift their perspective on that and come around here and look at it and go, this is a challenge, or this is something that's happened to me, something I'm experiencing, what can I do with this? then my work is 90% done.